Alright, so what is this video about? Well, there's been questions going around on social networking in regards to, does Timah smoke? What is Timah smoking? I thought Timah was about healthiness, but I think she's smoking. I saw this video. Timah had smoke coming out of her mouth. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this video. So in this videos and in this series of videos that's going to be coming up, I'm going to be speaking with ancestors. I'll be speaking with elders of the community on various topics. But today, this is going to be a very specific topic in regards to, what is Timah doing? Does she smoke? And the first ancestor that we're going to be summoning up, it's going to be Dr. Sebi. Now, before we go ahead and invoke the spirit of Dr. Sebi to see what it is that that he has to say in regards to this, I want to share a little bit of information on this subject with you all. So some of you may and you may not know about all these different varieties of marijuana that's been popping up on the market. There's so many, you can't even count, where there used to be really, what, maybe one or two. You know, you want the sativa. Whereas there's like this, the candy blue, the hopscotch, whiskotch. I'm making these names up, but I think you get me on this. There's just so many, and these are all hybrids. So if you're gonna do it, just make sure that you know where it came from. It's not one of these fancy names or these fancy pretty colors. That's not even what the original marijuana is. There's, like I said, there's a lot of different hybrids that's out there. There are some videos where Dr. Sebi mentioned this, about there are various hybrids out there in regards to the marijuana. And there was also research done by the NOI, and they put some really good information. Maybe I'll just read a little bit of it. Let me see. Actually, instead of me reading it, let me just let you hear some of this.
Now, many drugs, they say, besides these anti-androgens such as Depo-Provera, many drugs, such drugs appear to at least partially divert or block masculinization of the nervous system during neural organization. Many drugs besides these have a partial demasculizing effect. The list includes barbiturates, which are drugs, yada yada, yada yada, yada yada, marijuana. Uh-oh. Your weed family is subtly, partially feminizing you. We have documented. See how quiet it is? See how quiet it is? What? You want to get up and walk out on me like the LGBT walked out on the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan in Long Beach? That's what you want to do? Okay. Okay. We have documented that the enhanced weed, now look, in this confession, marijuana is identified by the conspirators as an anti-androgen drug that assaults, that blocks the development of masculinity. We have documented that the weed that hit the streets in the late 60s came through CIA laboratories and passed first through the hands of CIA assets before you were ever able to light it up yourself. We have also
Now, here's a little information from one of the elders that I think you should hear about.
They didn't want to stop crime. They wanted, like Nixon said, he wanted to develop something that would crush black people, but it had to look like it was favorable. It had to have a good look to it. So Mr. Nixon said, take their passion and criminalize their passion. What is your passion, man? Our passion is to get high on the weekends or every day. That's your passion. Okay, how do we criminalize it? First, we're going to make it more deadly. I smoked reefers as a young boy. I did. I told y'all that when I was here the last time. And getting high back then is not like getting high today. The reefer that I used to smoke cost 50 cents. Today, how much does it cost? Don't you tell. How much does it cost? A lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, depends what kind. They got different flavors. And I don't smoke, but it's a lot.
Now, a different flavor, which means there's chemicals added to the weed itself. And once you get a hit, you find it's more difficult to stop smoking it than it was when I was smoking. So now, these things lead to hard drugs.
So let's go back over to Dr. Wesley.
documented that. Not only does this now popular government touch weed with its increased THC content, not only does it diminish executive cognitive function, yeah, bruh, you pretty functional when you listen. That is true. You can go to work, and if the job ain't too complex, you can do a reasonably good job at it. We don't mess with nigga stuff. The THC, diminishes what they call executive cognitive function, that higher level thinking, that black God thinking. We have
All right, black gods. And for anyone else that that's up into the higher thinking, you ever wonder why your friends sit around and they just look real messed up after they done been, or during smoking some of this new branded weed that's out here? Yeah. And they're slurring, and sometimes they're even drooling. Just reflect back on what Dr. Wesley Muhammad just said to you, and take heed, because now it's now legal.
So that's like making cotton illegal. It's stupid to me. The problem is that once you burn it, you have now made a chemical. Now, if you make a soup out of it, a tea, or cookie, whatever, but once you strike a match to it, you've isolated and concentrated cannabinol, and you have made a drug. And that is the problem. There's nothing wrong with the plant. I mean, outlawing a plant is like outlawing a tree. It's stupid. But it's the drug you're making from the plant by burning it. That's the issue.
Okay, so let's move on a little bit forward. Now we're gonna listen to what Dr. Sebi also has to say in regards to marijuana.
But there's a book written in Ecuador, Hierbas Medicinales del Ecuador, Medicinal Herbs of Ecuador, and one of them is marijuana. And they had 4 pages of it. And I began to read, because I speak Spanish. I understand Spanish. In fact, I learn a lot from them. So in this book, they show that marijuana cures 20 plus diseases, which I know is true. Nervous problems, like, for instance, delirium tremens, Parkinson's disease, epilepsy. The man that was killed by us here in Los Angeles, that was blind, Mr. Fredericks, his daughter was suffering with epilepsy, 2 grand mal a day. I gave her 1 tablespoon of a tincture of marijuana. She didn't have another one. I make, right now, I had a man in the village, you know, we have a healing village in Honduras. You could go online and see it. The Usha Healing Village in Honduras. A man went on with Parkinson's disease in a wheelchair. Well, we know that people have these prejudices against God. We do. We don't use what God made. We use what man made in the laboratory. Marijuana is not like tobacco. Tobacco was made in the laboratory. Everybody smokes cigarettes freely, but marijuana is prohibited because it's God. So I have to be careful in telling folks what I give them. So the sisters in the village in Honduras made some brownies. I made marijuana and the brownies. And then when the patient was eating it, they said, wow, I slept last night like I've never slept. The other one said, well, I'm not shaking anymore. I'm not shaking. Look, I'm not shaking. I'm not shaking. Oh no, I want some more of those cookies. But it has to be natural marijuana. They talk about kush and all that stuff. That's hybrid. Talk about the real marijuana with seeds.
Now, I don't smoke at all. I don't inhale. I don't exhale. I don't use marijuana. So, as a matter of fact, what I have is not even an oil. It's not a cannabis oil. It's not a hemp oil. You're familiar with the what's called the smoke point of cooking oils. So basically, when you heat a oil, cooking oil, whatever, you gradually cause the what's called the triglycerides in the oil to start to decompose into what's called a glycerol and free fatty acids. So further heating causes the glycerol and the free fatty acids to start to decompose and to combust. And if you heat it enough, like when you're frying your foods or deep frying, it causes smoke, and it causes a very acrid smell. Now the smell is caused by aldehydes. So look that up. It's called by aldehydes, like acrolein, ACROLEIN, acrolein. Now this is also why once you smoke an oil, you should throw it out, because those compositions, those products are now bitter, and frankly they're toxic. So you don't want to eat those at all. So what is it that I'm actually doing here? I have what's called, or I have what I created. This is actually an herb tea. Well, what's the difference in what you're doing, herb tea? Because weed is an herb, marijuana is an herb. Yeah, but okay. So this is what I have. This is red raspberry leaf tea. Which way? Red raspberry leaf tea. And I also use what's called the panic pack. So why do I use these? You might want to look it up. For the panic pack, you might want to look up Brother Panic. He doesn't create the liquid here. I create the liquid for myself, but the herb is really awesome. The red raspberry leaf tea, you might want to look up the benefits of how it helps out your lungs and your liver. That's why I do this. In addition to our female organs as well as male organs. Okay, so what I actually do, I create this into a fluid, and this fluid. Let me show you this. Let me get this out of my hand. Let me show you this. This is my vaporizer. Alright. So you see the can you see it? I don't know if you can see it or not. But there's, yeah, you can see it. Let me try to put it right in front of me. There you go. You see that? There is steam, or there is like an aerosol that comes up out of this once it turns on. Now what's inside of here, these are just some essential oils. So you buy essential oils and you put them inside of some water and you turn on your little device here, and you get this nice little aerosol of water and the essential oil that's coming out. Not harmful at all. So I'm going to sit this back over to the side. So that's really what it is that I'm doing with my red raspberry leaf tea, with my panic pack, with any and all of my other, like my dandelion root teas, all of my teas. That's actually what I'm doing with these teas, except for I'm not putting it inside of there. I'm putting it inside of you've heard of those little e-cigarettes, those little pens. So I'm putting it inside of those. There are some that are refillable, so that's what I have. I'm not gonna show the one that I do have, or the ones that I do have. But I would say, if you want to know what I'm using, then I mean, you can hit me up, send me a little message. I'll respond. I'll let you know what it is that I'm actually using to put my my herbs inside of it. So basically, what I'm doing is creating like a liquid aerosol for my herbs, and that is it's like a flash heat, like I'm flash heating the water, and it creates like a fine little droplets that get suspended in the air, and it appears to be smoke because of the fine particles that like scatters in the light, but it's not. It's really no more than like it's similar to what happens with like dry ice, how it looks like it's creating smoke, but it's not smoke. And if you were to go over to it and inhale it with your mouth and push it out, and someone saw you pushing it out, they actually think that you was smoking. So there's really nothing dangerous in regards to what I'm doing. So I mean, there's a lot of information in regards to like vape pens or whatever, and the nicotines and everything, but I make my own stuff. There's no nicotine, there's no PG inside of it at all. Everything that I'm using, it's 100% natural. I definitely get the benefits when I'm doing this too. Love this. Alright, so I hopefully you've gotten some sort of benefit from this video, from the information that I wanted to pass on to you guys, because like I said, there have been some questions and concerns about what it is that I was doing inside of my video, especially my kamut, inside of my kamut video, because of how I started off, and then inside the little sample video that I put over on Instagram and yada yada yada, shish boom bada. So no, I don't smoke, I don't inhale, I don't exhale, nah, I don't do any of that. But like I said, if you're gonna be into it, then that's gonna be completely up to you. If you want to do the cannabis oil, the hemp oil, that's completely up to you. Just make sure that you do your research on any and everything that you're going to be putting in your body, because it's going into your lungs, and definitely inhaling it is going into your lungs. Yeah. Peace out. So you say you want to watch more of my videos, then make sure that you click right here. And you say you don't want to miss any of my videos that's going to be coming up, and you need to subscribe to my channel, so you need to hit the subscribe button, then make sure that you click right over here. Dragon lagging on deck.